This is going to be a video on my Paul McCartney and Wings Venus and Mars collection. Now, one of the things as I was preparing for this video, it occurred to me that Venus and Mars is the closest that Paul McCartney ever came to replicating Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And what do I mean like that? Well, there's many similarities between Venus and Mars and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Let's start with the cover. Now, when you think of Sgt. Pepper, the prevailing color scheme on Sgt. Pepper is the red and the yellow. The red, the back cover of Sgt. Pepper is red. There's a lot of red on the front cover of Sgt. Pepper. And when you open the gatefold for Sgt. Pepper, what's the predominant color in the gatefold? It's the yellow. And so I don't know if it's a subconscious representation of that on this cover, but you do have those two colors here featured very prominently on the Venus and Mars jacket. Also, what album has Paul McCartney released since Sgt. Pepper where the lyrics have been printed on the back cover of the album? Answer would be Venus and Mars. Not only that, but this is a gatefold, and Sgt. Pepper was a gatefold. Now, starting with the tracks themselves, you have Venus and Mars, which is reprised later on the album, much in the way Sgt. Pepper had a reprise. The first track, Venus and Mars, segues directly into the second track, Rock Show, much in the way that Sgt. Pepper segues directly into A Little Help from My Friends. You've got a track here which is very much like When I'm 64, and You Gave Me the Answer. It very much evokes kind of a 1920s sort of dance hall kind of theme there. You've got a track, Listen to What the Man Says, which reminds me a lot of Getting Better. They're in the same key, the same kind of upbeat tempo. The first real track that's not the reprise, on side 2 of Venus and Mars is Spirits of Ancient Egypt, which has a very much kind of a, trippy world vibe, much in the way that Within You Without You kind of does to lead off the second side of the Sgt. Pepper album. Got Magneto and Titanium Man, which is kind of very much whimsical, sort of in the way that Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite was. So I'm not saying Paul McCartney created this album as a companion piece to Sgt. Pepper, but I'm just pointing out there are some very distinct similarities between the two albums, and I found it very interesting. Now, this is my vinyl copy of the album, and just so everyone, one more thing. Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band, 6 words. Venus and Mars, All Right Tonight, 6 words. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. But I think there's enough coincidences there, and I'm not to, play into the whole Paul is dead clue thing, but I just thought there were enough clear coincidences that it was interesting enough to point out. So anyway, this is my vinyl copy of the album. I already showed you the gatefold, showed you the back. Now this came with a decorative inner sleeve, and for the first time, a black capital label with Sgt. Pepper, the yellow and the red pool balls there. And there was also a poster that was part of the Venus and Mars package. Actually, a couple. Now, this one is the band at Mardi Gras. Which actually I shouldn't say it's the band. Technically, it is Denny, although his face is obscured here, and then Linda and Paul at Mardi Gras, but nonetheless. And then this interesting poster, which there's just sort of a bunch of different photo outtakes at this interesting locale that looks like it's outside of a barn maybe, but it's kind of a play on the whole, you know, the red and the yellow pool ball thing, which is definitely the theme of Venus and Mars. So, you know, a pretty cool package to have. And if you can find a vinyl copy that has all of the inserts, the posters and whatnot, it's very cool. Well, the first single off Venus and Mars was Listen to What the Man Said, and this was backed by Love and Song. It's an edited version, not the one that segues from any rock show into this song. And this is on also the Black Capital label. This is what the back of that sleeve looks like. And then also there was a single, and it's an edited version of Venus and Mars and Rock Show, a pretty heavily edited version. The single version is around about 3.5 minutes long, and so they chopped quite a bit out of it just to make it the length of a single, but that's what that looked like. And then the back of it is, the flip side of it is Magneto and Titanium Man. You can see that without the outer sleeve on it, but this is my cassette copy of Venus and Mars, and this is on the Columbia label. And then just some other, this cassette's got some writing on it. You don't see many cassettes with writing on them. So unfortunately, that's a copy that I have. This is the original CD release of Venus and Mars with 3 bonus tracks. The bonus tracks being Zoo Gang, which was a B-side, Lunchbox, Odd Socks, and then My Carnival. That is what the CD looks like, and then the booklet has the gatefold, the lyrics, and some credits, and that's pretty much it. They don't include anything from any photographs from the posters. The closest you get is that little segment from the inner record sleeve. And then the next version that I have is from Paul McCartney Archive Collection. And this has a second disc with Junior's Farm, Sally G, Walking in the Park with Eloise, Bridge on the River Suite, My Carnival, Going to New Orleans, which is an alternate version of My Carnival, Hey Diddle, the Ernie Winfrey mix, Let's Love, Soy Leaf, a couple of tracks from One Hand Clapping, Soy Leaf, Babyface. Then there's Lunchbox / Odd Socks, 4th of July, Rock Show, which was the original old version, and then Letting Go, the single edit. Letting Go was actually the second single. I don't have that single, but that was actually the second single off Venus and Mars, and then Venus and Mars Rock Show was actually the third single that was released off this album when Letting Go kind of tanked in the charts. So I meant to show you what was actually in the middle of this. So you've got 2 discs there, and this picture is actually the same one from that single photograph. And the booklet has the photograph from the poster, the lyrics printed white on black, just like they were on the back cover of the album. Another photograph of Paul and the band. And that's what you get as part of that package. I really like this album a lot. I think it's a great companion piece to Band on the Run. I know people think it's kind of a substandard Paul McCartney album, but I really do enjoy it a lot. And I think for a lot of the reasons that I discussed, it being very similar to Sgt. Pepper, just in terms of the layout. There's a lot of similarities. Paul's songwriting, like he did on Sgt. Pepper, is kind of similar to what we've got here. So I do enjoy it a lot. Even the tracks that feature, Jimmy and Denny on vocals, which would be Medicine Jar and Spirits of Ancient Egypt, respectively, I think are fine tunes. And I really like a lot. I like Letting Go. I think that's very cool. I think Love and Song is just a great Paul McCartney track. Even Call Me Back Again, I think, is a great Paul McCartney track. Obviously, listen to what the man said. But nonetheless, that is my Paul McCartney, Venus, and Mars collection. Thanks for watching.